537. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you, friends. Hey, you guys want to play a game?
Oh, yeah, I love that.
All right, we're going to play a game. I've got 4 video clips, and I've not heard the audio. All right? So 4 video clips. I've not heard the audio. So I'm going to play the audio, and we're just going to react. Okay?
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the titles, and they sound rather ridiculous, and so I think that we're just going to play a game. All right, you ready? So here we go. This is the first one having to do with Nancy Pelosi and stocks.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says no to banning congressional lawmakers from trading stock. It was in response to a question about a report that found dozens of members of Congress violated a law meant to stop insider trading and prevent conflicts of interest. Here's what Pelosi said.
Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
So, okay, so.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember, and I wish I had the audio handy, but do you remember when now I know why this is a thing today, because the Democrats are accusing Donald Trump of insider trading. We'll get into that. I wish I had the audio. Do you remember, Joan, when Nancy Pelosi was asked about, insider trading, the accusations about NVIDIA, and how she and her husband had clearly inside information. And so she would be buying or selling stock. I don't remember all the details, but she would buy and sell NVIDIA stock. And she had inside information literally as a member of Congress. And so she was buying and selling that stock based on things that were happening within Congress that were not information that the rest of America would know. And so that comes, of course, that story is now in the news today because, Joan, the Democrats are now accusing Donald Trump of insider trading.
Yeah, you want to hear how the Wall Street Journal,
ABC News?
How ABC News frames this this morning? Okay, here it is. Oh, good job, Joan. Hold on.
Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene brought high-profile stocks last week when the markets tanked after President Trump slapped on tariffs. Some of the stocks were down 40%. Lawmakers from both parties have proposed bills banning members from stock trading.
Now,
wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hypocrisy.
Right. Didn't he? He said, hey, it's a great time to buy. But
all Donald Trump said was it's a great time to buy.
That's it.
He didn't even say specifically what to buy.
No. So where's the insider trading? Where's the inside information?
Right.
There is no information. And he said that the report said that she bought well-known stocks or whatever, right? Stocks that people know.
Yeah.
So I don't really, Democrats, is this really the card you want to play?
So when Nancy Pelosi puts like millions of dollars into a chip company before a vote on chips, that's water under the bridge.
Different.
Oh yeah,
a little different.
Yeah.
What? God, the Crypt Keeper strikes again.
It is stunning that the Democrats continue with these kind of clearly losing arguments. Do you know what the thing is, though, Joan? Mm-hmm. The thing is that, and this is what gets so frustrating, is that they're protected. Just like Joe Biden was protected by the media.
Yeah.
People like Nancy Pelosi, I guess there's audio out there somewhere of AOC accusing the Republicans and Donald Trump of insider trading, calling for investigations because Trump literally said, now is a great time to buy. It's just dumb. And by the way, everybody knew that it was a great time to buy. You buy the dip. Duh. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to hear another one?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is Democrat Representative Jahana Hayes, and she says that she regrets one of her votes. Listen to this. The Laken-Riley Act. This is a Democrat.
As I've thought about it over the last couple months, I probably would have voted differently. It's a vote that I regret, but coming into this Congress, I trusted that this administration, we would have if they wanted to have border security, they wanted to work with Democrats, that we could actually move forward. I'm not really sure of that.
So she regrets voting for the Laken-Riley Act. And so then it makes you wonder, gee, I wonder why Democrats are at, what is their latest approval rating? Is it 21%? I think that's what it is, right? 21% is where the Democrats are. And so this is, and I don't know where this Jahana Hayes is, but this was a town hall on CNN. But isn't that insane?
They just keep going further to the left. We can't even see them anymore. They're so far off of that side that like you have to get binoculars to see them.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal: is that they're not where the American people are, and so they continue to not pay attention. Read the room. You know, reading the room. Obviously, we all know what reading the room is. Yeah. And so they're not reading the room. Because, man, if you read the room, I mean, we can all debate over tariffs and whether or not this is a good idea, Wall Street versus Main Street, which is a conversation we had in the first segment. But the bottom line is, when it comes to illegal immigration and the Laken-Riley Act and border security and all of that, isn't it obvious the room that is the United States actually likes what Donald Trump is doing? And so when you have a Democrat that comes out and she says, "Oh, I regret that vote." Okay, I'm reasonably certain
that's incredible
that somebody is going to bring that up if there's a more moderate Democrat that does try to primary her. But do you think here would be my question? In the midterm elections in the House of Representatives, of course, there's always an election every 2 years. Do you think that in Congress, in the House of Representatives, do you think the more moderate Democrats are going to be primaried by the nut jobs, or do you think that that the moderates will be primaried by another nut job, by a nut job? In other words, in the House of Representatives, will they continue to go further left? Do you have a prediction? Will they continue to go further left, or will they try to become more moderate?
I don't see a path for them becoming moderate. Their followers are all loopy to the nth degree. And I think that's where their public, their voters are pushing them.
Yep.
Anybody who was moderate in the Democrat Party is now a Republican.
Or they consider themselves independent.
Sure. Yeah.
I always look at it like this. Remember when Lori Lightfoot, the mayor? Chicago mayor?
Yeah.
When she left and the guy came in, he's even worse.
Yeah.
So they got rid of a loony lefty to bring back in a more loony lefty.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same in now a national stage.
They're like cockroaches.
I mean, I think honestly, at least the guy looks a little better than Lori Lightfoot. Like at least there's something to look at compared to her.
Joan?
Sure, I'll go with that.
And then there's
she's ugly.
Lori, we got that. We got that.
Had to be blunt.
Lori Lightfoot, he's crazier than her.
Exactly, but at least like he looks like a human.
Okay, Jasmine Crockett is in the news today, and listen to what she says about demanding a mental acuity test of Donald Trump.
The fact that no one is questioning his mental acuity or fitness to serve is beyond wild to me, right? Like the fact that they sat around, called Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden, and as I said before, at least you could sleep at night because you didn't have to worry about your 401k disappearing overnight. You didn't have to worry about these allegations of fake invasions. You didn't have to worry about the cost of food just skyrocketing or
all right, so
wait, fake invasion? What's she talking about?
I was stuck on that. I'm stuck on that. Like, what is
immigration? Is she talking about immigration?
Oh, maybe
that is absolutely an invasion.
Exactly. So I think she's like, yeah, we didn't go to sleep without our 401k. We were worried about going to World War III.
The dumbassery of the Democrat Party just never stops.
A man with a very few brain cells had the code to the nuclear devices that this country has. Like, honestly, how ridiculous is that statement?
Well, it is obviously ridiculous. And okay, so during the Biden administration, were we worried about our 401ks? To be candid, we're always worried about our 401ks. But what we were worried about, and we were sort of stuck on that invasion comment, but she also talked about not being able to afford groceries. Are you kidding me? Where were you, Jasmine Crockett, that 4 years? Of course we were worried about the cost of groceries. So she's just, the more that she talks, and again, we're listening to this all for the first time and just reacting.
As I said before, at least you could sleep at night because you didn't have to worry about your 401k disappearing overnight. You didn't have to worry about these allegations of fake invasions. You didn't have to worry about the cost of food just skyrocketing.
Yeah, we weren't worried about the cost of food skyrocketing, were we?
Please run for president.
It was skyrocketing, so it didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, the president has his physical examination today.
Yes, he does. Yeah. He does.
In Bethesda.
He won't fall getting there also.
He what?
He won't fall getting there also.
He won't.
Like a certain someone we knew.
All right, here's more from Jasmine Crockett.
Or skyrocketing cost of all of your electronics. You know, the fact that Apple was flying in planes of iPhones before the tariffs hit, like this is crazy work for no reason. So, you know, I just hope.
For no reason.
Hold on. She's worried about Apple iPhones being flown in while there were illegal immigrants being flown in with Joe Biden.
Yeah, okay. Do you know, you're right, Joan, absolutely. And there's news on that. Do you know the news today about that whole thing? What came out last night?
Oh, no.
Oh, listen at 6. Listen at 6:06. Okay. I'm gonna talk about that because there has been a discovery from Doge. We'll talk about that straight ahead. But let's listen to more Jasmine.
That people remember. Because seemingly they got amnesia the first time. And so you've got opportunities to vote. And I will tell you that every single special election we've had, Democrats are swinging no less than 15 points. But honestly, we should be swinging 30 and 40 points because of the level of incompetence and harm that this administration is bringing upon all of us.
Wow.
The pot calling the kettle black, eh?
So incompetence and the harm to Americans. Has anybody died yet? As aside from the Houthi rebels, by the way?
Not that I know of.
So who's dying? Houthi rebels and, probably some bad guys somewhere. But who's being deported? Illegal alien gangbangers. All right. And by the way, there's news on that today, too. I'll get into it in 6. But it just clearly and that was on the Chris Hayes show. And over there is he on MSNBC? I think he's on MSNBC. I'm not entirely certain. But anyway, so there is, and I think I've got one more, but I'm running rapidly out of time. Beetlejuice. Okay, so here's what's funny. You know where I'm going, KGB, right?
Yes.
So KGB said that Lori Lightfoot looked subhuman.
She's ugly.
She's ugly. And I was trying to think of, because I made this comment a long time ago, that she looked like Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
And which, by the way, the most overrated movie of all time. And so, but I was trying to, in my mind, remember, what was that movie? Of course, because I've got Biden brain disease at some time. I couldn't remember. Thank you, 3662, for reminding me that it was Beetlejuice. Real quick, one more. I don't have the time to do it now. You know what? How much time will I have? If I take my break actually on time, we're going to talk about, we got one more piece of audio that we'll do right before the news that has to do with the news media. And we'll have fun with that straight ahead. And I have heard that one.
As long as it's not Jasmine Crockett, I think we're good.
5:50, Nashville's Morning News, and Joan Jones, what's coming up in the news at 6?
We've got a close call for a Nashville family during last night's storms. Also, the Tennessee legislature advances a bill dealing with kids in the U.S. illegally. We've got that story and more coming up here at 6 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTEN.